Hello, everybody, and welcome back again to Unexpected Awesome. This wouldn't be a series about media dealing with romance if at least once we didn't talk about a romantic comedy. Most romantic comedies are extremely hard to pull off because their main characters and their conflicts are often very petty. This is a very hard formula to pull off, but every once in a while you come across a movie that does that quite well. One such film is 2014's Crash Pad. The film follows an unemployed nobody who finds comfort and solace for the lack of achievement in his life in old sitcoms, as well as in contemplating life inside of a furniture store. One day, he's met and is seduced by an older woman who's getting revenge on her husband. So she decides to sleep around on him with one dude. Needless to say, she brags about it to the husband, and he comes in and proceeds to threaten our main character. However, he realizes that this small-scale isolation and peace of this little nobody's life is actually quite appealing, especially to the recent emotional pain in his high-achieving life of being a well-paid lawyer. So he decides to lessen his responsibilities at his job and live inside of this dude's house as a roommate, pursuing huge amounts of parties on a determined quest to get this nobody to get some. Needless to say, the parties get pretty crazy, culminating in a point where, in the middle of a party, our main character decides to plead with the macho dude, Grady, to go back to his wife and essentially try to patch things up, that this isn't a way to be happy. You see, the nobody is a big believer in old school romance. He's surprisingly a square despite his underachieving nature. Grady, near the end of the second act of the film, almost gets with another lady. Almost. He got her into the room and he's just about to go for it. However, he's not even able to get out of his undershirt. He can't bring himself to cheat on his wife like she did at the beginning of the film. He apologizes to the lady and very politely asks her to leave. This is my favorite moment in the entire film. It's the most important scene in the entire film, and it's probably the biggest indication and grounds of proof for the ultimate conclusion of the film, in which he gets back together with his wife, and in a surprising twist, the nobody actually doesn't find romance. He gets a job. I think the most interesting character in the movie is easily Grady. Grady is presented as this big, crass, over-the-top, macho, hedonistic stereotype. He's determined, and states that he's determined, to get as much from other ladies as possible, but he can't do it. I think this is interesting because earlier on in the film, he relates how he met and how he came to be attracted to his wife. In fact, he met her at work. Grady is a successful lawyer, and she is also a lawyer. She out-negotiated him, and that instilled in him a sense of respect for her strong will and talent. She is his equal, and that is what led him to pursue her, to the point of even making it official and legal. I think it's awesome because it showcases that one of the kindred spirits that he saw inside of our main character, that old school romance that's still living in his heart, that sap that does want to be there with somebody for the brunt of it, and that he wants to turn him back into what he thought he was in his youth, an over-the-top hedonist who goes for anybody and everybody all the time. So that's the script basis of this scene that I like. What about a technical level? Well, it's brilliantly shot, it's brilliantly edited, and it's brilliantly acted. The lines and dialogue are sparse, but Thomas Haden Church's delivery is flawless as a mountain of diamonds that are being hidden away by the South Africans. It's also extremely well shot, with low mood lighting, but instead of being provocative, it's sullen. And I do love the mise-en-scène, especially the costuming work. Our main character is sitting at the edge of that bed in nothing but his undershirt. He looks like a man out of the 1950s, and you see that old-school style inside of his character. Everything about this film speaks to you on both a technical and story level, adds depth to somebody who could have just easily been a stereotype in a stereotypical film, and that's one of the reasons I recommend Crash Pad. Stay golden.
Yeah,